we're gonna move on to is the Q&A session. Let me share screen and the question. I hope everyone see the my screen. So yeah, we have a lot of questions here. So I think we can start with the first one, which is like, what do you think the most valuable thing AI can do for design system team today?
Yeah, I can answer that, I guess. So I think I already mentioned that currently documentation is something that is, in most cases, left behind. So change logs, what's done, what's missing. I think that is something that AI can really facilitate and help us with. And that's something that will also bridge the gap in the communication within the team, within design and engineering, PMs, product direction, whoever else you have. And I guess tokens, comparisons, tokens analysis, and all the consistency analysis between the code and design system. That's something AI can also help with.
Yeah, I can also give my 2 cents. I think what Lisa just shared is super valuable, like, because it used to be like a manual work, right? So if your design system team can employ the AI workflow, it actually allows you to focus on the more important things rather than to kind of just do the parity check. So I think if your team can start using AI in whatever form, I think will be beneficial, right? If your organization is AI first, then try to, like Lisa mentioned, like just open the Claude and see what Claude can do, and just play around. Maybe you found the things you don't know when you try it. So I think kick off from anywhere will be valuable, since that this is the new way for our industry. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much. And if anyone like want to like share something, also feel free to jump in. And for the next question, what workflow or pipeline that can team adopt now that stay helpful for the next 6 months despite the fast evolving tools?
Yeah, I can also answer that, but Lisa, feel free to share your 2 cents after. So, like we discussed earlier, it highly depends on your organization, right? So if let's say your organization is, I don't know, like you don't have design system, and the most effective way for you to earn a spot on the table is that how can you use AI to create your own design system and govern. And it's not too much about AI, because AI, if you think about the job to be done, right? Like your job to be done is to have that artifact that where both teams can communicate. And AI is only a tool that can speed up this process. But at the end of the day, you as a orchestra or architect, that you need to know what you ask for, right? And sometimes, like oftentimes, I found myself struggle. It's not because like the lack of AI literacy. It's like I cannot articulate my intent properly. I think that's the most struggle part for me. I know the rough idea in my head, but in order to articulate that, you need to spend time to write things down. So I think that's where it depends on your organization. And the design like AI tooling is evolve so fast, so it's really hard to predict that what happened in a 6 month. But what you can do, and my organization are trying to do, is like to employ the AI first mindset, right? Like if there has some AI assist workflow can be employed during the process or the ways of working, let's give it a try, right? Like stay open-minded and give it a try, and maybe you found something along the way. That's my 2 cents. So feel free to give your Lisa.
Yeah, I would just add maybe that I've been seeing quite a lot that design teams were drop in Figma from their workflows. And actually, one client of mine, we don't use Figma. I only use FigJam to define what we need to do and basically create like experience first. And then we just use Cursor or Claude to bring it to life, to wipe code it, I guess. Yeah. And I feel like that's something that we like. I don't know the roadmap that Figma has, but I feel like it might actually decline, and what we need to adopt is actually be not really UI specialized, but more in UX and focus more on experience of our products, because also UI can be done by AI a lot. It's generic, yes, but still that's what can be done. But the good UX is still human-led, and UX to code, I think that's the way that is being adopted now and will even grow more.
I see. Thank you so much. Yeah, it seemed like depend on the organization and yeah, the context, and I think it's just like depend on how we're gonna pivot the workflow and pipeline. And the next one is how does this AI workflow work along with existing established design system, and what can be accelerated and leveraged?
I can also take that. So, as far as I know, if you want to use your existing design system, the first thing you should check is like whether your design system is AI readable, right? Like if you can use Claude to leverage your AI, leverage your design system. So the first thing is like to check that, and after your AI can understand your design system, is a plug and plug in and plug out stuff, right? Like you just like, hey, I want to build this component from my design system. As long as the AI can read your design system, and I think the whatever you already established isn't a waste, right? It's just like different workflow, I will say.
Yeah, I would actually agree on that. I guess that also, yes, if it is AI readable, and I would imagine, like in my case, we created also like skills where I mention the naming convention of my tokens, right? If I need to scale the design system, then if I use AI, then it needs to know the way I think. Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much. The next one is like when we vibe code our project, do you think it's worth building up the design system first, or it might overkill?
Well, I think it's also depends on your project, right? If it's just like, let's say you build a fun app, like web-based app, you probably don't need a full-blown design system because it's just like you just want to try it, right? But if you are building an enterprise product, level product, and you have a different, I don't know, different brand, and I think that's essentially to build a design system first because it's easier to scale. But it's case by case, I will say. But for me, like when I start play around with AI, I didn't start with a design system. I just start with a simple prompt, and maybe that's what it needs to take to build your personal app, right? And you can, I don't know, like it's really easy to build the design system. Like for example, if you build, let's say PayPay, right? Like you work in at PayPay, and you are building a commercial landing page, and you don't have to build your home design system. You just like copy paste the string because AI can also read visually. So you dump into Claude and hey, I want to please build the basic design system based on this screenshot, and my goal is to build the commercial landing page, yada yada. So you just basically tell Claude your intent, and they will do a pretty decent job. It might surprise you. So to answer the question, you probably don't need a full-blown design system if you are not building a multi-brand product.
Yeah, I also think this way, but the only thing I'm not sure, I feel like it's very hard to build a design system first. At least you need a vision of your project and what you want to build. You can't really create components like cards or tables first. Maybe you can, but it is a bit difficult. I would imagine building like a foundational design system that you can use, and then you can just scale it and sync it and basically change your product. You can also generate design systems right now. There are tools that do amazing jobs creating design systems that you can export and then you can use. So that's maybe something to think about as well.
I see. Thank you so much. Yeah, personally, totally agree on this. Like, sometimes you gotta learn and build bit by bit, and then depend on the purpose, because there is like a no perfect approach at once. I think, yeah. I think the next one, oh yeah, the recording will be published afterwards. Thank you. And I think we might about to run out of time. Maybe we can do one or two more questions. I think this one is like, if we already have design system in Figma and Storybook, is there anything that we should do?
What exactly do you think you need to do? That's my question. But I think Figma and Storybook is enough. So because if you have Storybook, then you probably have GitHub as well, and that's usually quite enough. You can add any tool. Like me, I use Notion, but again, it's optional. It's not mandatory. It's just because I'm crazy. I just need something to look at. But I think Figma and Storybook, it's perfectly enough if you work in a product, you build a product.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
think
think, Jeremy?
both tools are using for documentations, right? So if your goal is to document the intent of your components and you already have in like written down in Figma or Storybook, then that's perfectly fine, right? But if your intent is to use those tool to build a like prototype and the other stuff, as long as you have Storybook, you have I will assume that you have most up-to-date component to use, and that also work for the prototyping, like semi-production level prototyping. So yeah, I think like we mentioned earlier in our presentation, like AI, it's a wave, but it's also a hype, right? So just focus on what your organization needs. And if the AI can accelerate your job, then do it. And otherwise, just skip it.
Thank you so much. Maybe we can do the last one of this question, like what is your comment on the role shift of a designer in the design while coding era when AI is automating the process of the design flow?
I can give my 2 cents. I think I can talk about this whole day. But I had a funny discussion with one of my designer friends. He mentioned that if every design will generate by AI, like we as a designer give a command and everything is generated by AI, and we will employ another AI agent to critique the design, right? And this workflow sounds a bit like future, like it's kind of living the future, but it's also a bit weird, right? And like I don't know what's coming in the new era, but I will challenge us ourselves like to think about if all the design is created by agent, like, and what's left for us as a designer to critique about? Because like, I think the most important thing for a designer is to have a taste, to have rationale, to have audacity to challenge the output from the AI, because AI cannot be 100% right most of the time. So I think the role will shift, of course. Lindsay mentioned, like the joke we had yesterday. Like we used to have Photoshop, Illustrator, right? And we moved to Sketch. In Sketch, we moved to Figma. Now Figma to move to the other tool. So we are keep evolving. But if we go back to the first principle, we are essentially a problem solver. So as long as you have this skill, like solve the right problem for your organization, I think you still like add some value to your organization without doubt. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, exactly. I can't agree more. I think critical thinking and like analytical mind is what is needed from the designer. So we basically like orchestrators. We use AI, we use tools to deliver, to build beautiful things. And exactly, we still are supervised and we are making the decisions. AI can create whatever it can create, but still decision is ours. And we cannot just focus on UI. We can focus more on experience. We can focus more on business. I think we just can cover more things, and our role is just becoming more powerful. We're not just moving pixels. We are basically like in the middle of the product development cycle, I would say.
Thank you so much, Jeremy and Lisa. Yeah, totally agree that I feel like at the end of the day, humans still need humans. So whatever future is, I think we can like focus and enjoy today too. And yeah, so I think yeah, we can wrap up the Q&A session. Thank you so much, and I will hand to Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you both to hand this wonderful Q&A session. As we all know, time is up and we're going to wrap up this session, but hopefully we can see all of you in the future. And also, beside the AI, we still need this human collection, and we will have our in-person picnic very soon in Tokyo. So if you happen to be in Tokyo in 2 weeks, welcome to join our picnic. And we will host this picnic in Yoyogi Park, which is in Tokyo. And also, Jeremy, Lisa, I love your sharing. I love your insights, and hopefully we can get Claude in person someday in the future. Okay.
I would love to.
Yeah, that would be
but
amazing.
the
Yes.
travel is the pain in the ass.
Yes, let's have this gathering when both of you are in Tokyo. And thanks everyone for joining us today. I know someone's asking about if we're gonna share this recording. Yes, we will publish the recording separately on our YouTube channel, and we will also make an announcement about the URL in the Luma and the Meetup and also the Discord channel. So please stay tuned. Thank you everyone, and thanks for joining us, and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.